Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a really useful piece of Japanese grammar. It's all about planning ahead, doing things in advance. It's something we do every single day, and Japanese has this super specific, kind of elegant way to talk about it.
So let's just start with this question right here. How do you actually say you're doing something now for a reason that's coming up in the future? Whether it's cramming for a test or grabbing drinks for a party, this is a huge part of communicating, and we're about to figure out exactly how to do it.
All right, so at its core, this whole thing is really about the art of preparation. It's all about thinking ahead, right? Taking some kind of action to make a future event go a little smoother or maybe be more successful. It's something we all do all the time.
And this is where the Japanese language is just so cool. Instead of needing a bunch of extra words like in advance or I'm doing this for the purpose of, there's actually a specific verb ending that just packs that entire meaning of preparation into one neat little bundle.
And that bundle, that key we're talking about, is the grammar pattern te oku, which we say as te oku. This little guy is your ticket to expressing all that foresight and planning in your Japanese sentences. It's a real game changer.
So here it is, the main idea. You use te-oku when you're doing an action in preparation for something else down the line. It's not just about doing the thing, it's about doing it with a clear future goal in mind. That's the crucial part.
Okay, so we know what it means. Now let's talk about how to actually build it. And you're gonna love this because it is super straightforward. We can break it down into a couple of easy steps.
The formula is seriously this simple. You just take the te form of whatever verb you want, and then you stick oku right on the end. That's it. So for example, the verb to buy, kau, becomes katte in the te form, and then you just add oku to get katte-oku. Simple as that.
And, with Japanese, we've always got to think about politeness levels, right? So for polite speech, you'll change oku to okimasu for present or future stuff, and okimashita for things you did in the past. But if you're just chatting with friends, you can leave it as oku.
All right, theory is one thing, but let's see how this thing actually works out in the wild, in real conversations. I think these examples are going to make the meaning click perfectly.
Okay, check out this example. The connection here is so clear. The action is studying today. Benkyou shite. And what's the future purpose? Well, it's the test tomorrow. So by adding okimasu, the speaker is making it totally clear that the studying is preparation for that test. See how that works?
Here's another fantastic one. The action is he bought tickets, kippu o katte, but why? Well, that okimashita at the end tells us it was done in advance for the upcoming trip. It wasn't just a random purchase. It was a planned out preparatory step. This grammar gives us the why behind the action.
All right, now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. A tip that is going to make you sound so much more natural when you're just talking casually. When you're speaking with friends, te-oku often gets squished down into a shorter form.
And here's what that shortcut looks like. Basically, te-oku kind of melts together and just becomes tok. So our example from before, katte-oku turns into kattoku. You will hear this constantly in everyday speech.
So let's see it in a sentence. Here, we've got Taro buying juice for a party. Instead of the full, formal katte-oku, he just uses the casual form, kattoku. It means the exact same thing. He's buying it in preparation. It's just in a much more relaxed conversational package.
Okay, so let's boil all this down to the essentials. First, and most important, use te-oku to talk about doing something in preparation for the future. Second, how do you build it? Verbs T form plus oku. And third, don't forget that awesome casual shortcut, toku. If you can remember those three things, you've totally got this. And that brings us to the end. So now, I'm going to turn the question over to you. Think about your week. What's coming up? What will you do in advance? Maybe you'll prep your lunch for tomorrow, or get ready for a meeting. How would you say that using what you just learned? Because actually thinking about it and trying to use it, well, that's the first real step to making it your own.